Many faces who have inspired so many of us across this city in the fight for justice. And many who believed in the possibility of me standing here before you today long before it was easy to believe. Because those same newspapers that many are reading across this city, it is easy to feel as if the news is inevitable, as if it was always going to be this way. But there are those on this stage, there are those in this crowd who spoke to me when my name recognition and polling was at 1% in this race. And that is to be charitable to myself. There are those who spoke to me when the prevailing consensus in this city was that this campaign was an interesting idea at best. And I thank them, because what they did, what you do, what New Yorkers have done, is to create hope. It is to give people the permission to believe. And it is especially in our darkest times, in this city and in this country, when people need that belief, and yet when it is hardest to find it. And so they look to leaders who have found that belief in even darker times. They look to them to know, should they open their hearts? And these are the leaders, these are the people that allowed me to get to this place today. And I think about Psalm 35, which tells us, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And it has been night for far too long in this city. It has been night for the 1 in 4 New Yorkers who live in poverty. It has been night for the 500,000 children who go to sleep hungry every single day. It has been night for the woman I met on the BX33 who told me, I used to love New York. Now it's just where I live. It has been night for the people who made this city what it is. And in that night, we have seen the working people of this city weep. Weep at the cost of housing. Weep at the cost of childcare, at the cost of groceries. Weep even for the $2.90 for that Metro card. Though it may not seem like much, 1 in 5 New Yorkers cannot even afford that. And as New Yorkers have struggled in that night to afford the city that they have built, struggled in that night to feel safe in the city that they make so special, there has been many a question as to whether this city will simply become a museum of a place that once was. A museum of where working people could thrive. But what we have seen in the last 2 weeks is a hunger from New Yorkers to move beyond the days of museums and relics and make this city a living, breathing testament to what is possible. New Yorkers from every borough traveled to their polling places. They made their voices heard. And what our victory showed on election night was less a victory between one man and another, but a victory for a city that New Yorkers can afford. It was a victory for a politics that moved beyond the past and the present and into the future. A politics that every single New Yorker could see themselves and their struggles in. And as we now wait for the final results, although as Reverend Sharpton said, we already know what they will be, we have to ask ourselves a question. What does morning look like in this city? And that must be a morning for every single New Yorker. It must be a morning where the worker comes first. A morning where every New Yorker does more than just struggle. A morning where they know if they live in that rent-stabilized apartment, they will pay the same rent next year as well. A morning where they know that childcare will be universal. A morning where they know no longer will they struggle through food deserts to find groceries they can afford. A morning where they can get on every single bus across this city, and it not only will be free, but it will be fast. A morning when they can look at this city and its reflection in the water around us and see themselves. A morning where they have a leader who looks to remake this city, not in his own image, but in the image of the New Yorker that is struggling. It is a morning that must bring the New Yorkers who are on the margins of our city into the mainstream of our politics. That is the morning that we will bring.